Shahuji Bhosle was the fourth Chhatrapati of the Maratha Empire, created by his grandfather Chhatrapati Shivaji, more popularly known as Chhatrapati Shahu. He came out of captivity by the Mughals and defeated his aunt Tarabai in an internecine conflict to gain the throne in 1708. He was the son of the second Chhatrapati Sambhaji, who was killed by the Mughals in 1689. Imprisonment. During the Mughal-Maratha War of 27 years, Shahuji was held captive with his mother, Yesubai, by the Mughals from the age of 7 years after the fall of Maratha capital of Raigad in Feb. 1689. When the Mughal Emperor Aurangzeb died in 1707, a war of succession ensued between his surviving sons. At the insistence of Mughal generals Ulfikar Khan and Nusrat Jang, Shahu was freed from imprisonment by Prince Muhammad Azam Shah. After the Battle of Jadua, the victor and next emperor Bahadur Shah also took the side of Shahuji against Tarabai at the insistence of his generals Ulfikar Khan, but under conditions which rendered him a vassal of the Mughal Empire. His mother was still held captive to ensure his good behavior, and he could only obtain her release in 1719 when the Marathas became strong enough. After his release, Shahuji had to contend with a competing claim by his aunt Tarabai and her son, Raja Shivaji II. With the assistance of Dhunaji Jadhav, Balaji Vishwanath, who was later appointed the Peshwa Prime Minister, and Sardar Khandarao Dabad, who was later appointed the Senapati, Shahuji prevailed over Tarabai in 1709 and consolidated his power in Satara. Tarabai then set up a rival Maratha court at Kolhapur. Expansion of the empire. It was under Shahu and his Bardashmukh family Peshwas that the Maratha Empire became the largest in India. The Maratha Empire expanded in 4 directions: in the north by Scindia, Holkar, in the east by Bhonsla, in the west by Dabad and Gakwade, and in the south by Fateh Singh Bhosle with Peshwa Bajirao himself. Shahuji's primary accomplishment was in stabilizing the fractured Maratha Empire after the defeat of the Mughals by the Marathas. During the War of 27 Years, many Maratha nobles became powerful. He was the binding force of the Marathas. Shahuji was instrumental in giving space to new talents irrespective of the background. During his tenure, almost all sections of society rose to power. Perhaps the Maratha Empire was the most socially mobile empire, which accommodated many new socio-economic groups which hitherto were miles away from power, and that caused a socio-political revolution. Socio-political revolution. His reign saw rise of many like Balaji, Shinde and many more talented people who later became the strong support on which the Maratha Empire expanded and flourished, especially Peshwa Bajirao and the Holkars in the north. He is credited with establishing the position of Peshwa, which later became a hereditary position for those from a humble background. Bahiroji Pingal, the younger son of Meropant Trimbak Pingal, was the first Peshwa of Shahu I. When Kanhoji Angry attacked Satara in 1711, Bahiroji Pingal was taken a prisoner by him. Immediately Shahu I ordered Balaji Vishwanath to ensure his release and also gave him more authority in the form of the post of Peshwa, so that he could negotiate with Kanhoji Angry on behalf of the king. After the premature death of Balaji Vishwanath, he appointed a young Bajirao as Peshwa on April 17, 1719. After 20 years' tenure of Bajirao, he appointed Nana Sahib as Peshwa. These 3 Peshwas were extremely efficient, and Shahu always acknowledged their efforts to enhance the Maratha Empire. He is also responsible for appointing Sarkhel Kanhoji Angry to the position of first Maratha naval chief, in return for his shifting his loyalty from the Tarabai camp. Shahu appointed Sardar Khandarao Dabad as his Sasnapati, or commander-in-chief, family. Shahu had 4 wives, and fathered 2 sons and 4 daughters. He adopted 2 sons, Fatehsin I and Rajaram II, who succeeded him as the Raja of Satara. Rajaram II had been brought to her by Tarabai, who initially claimed that the child was her grandson and a descendant of Shivaji, but later disowned him as an impostor. Shahu died a natural death in 1749. His adopted son Rajaram II, claimed to be Tarabai's grandson, succeeded him, but the actual power was held by others, first by Tarabai and then by Peshwa Balaji Baji Rao.